Dawson video.
I'm really proud of our pizza.
But you've seen it?
I have.
How has it kind of affected you guys? Is there some sort of effect, or it's just like a joke?
Our pizzas aren't cookie cutter pizzas.
Yeah.
They're not frozen pizzas. We don't peel plastic off of our pizzas and throw them in an oven. So they're not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Every pizza is hand stretched. Every pizza's hand done.
So I guess what you're saying is that the conspiracy theory is false.
No.
It's just a theory.
Absolutely false.
Okay, so
unequivocally false. There is no way.
So does the pizza making process explain kind of like why the shape is the way it is?
Absolutely.
Can you take me through the pizza
Sure,
making?
absolutely. So our dough starts as a bag of flour and water. We get 80-degree water is what we start all of our dough at. It's 1 part water to 2 parts dough. We add our dough mixture and we mix it for 12 minutes. Then we're gonna take that dough and we form it into individual balls based on sizes. Then that bun gets sheeted out into an actual skin itself. But that doesn't happen for a whole other day. So the pizza that you're starting today actually started yesterday. When we pull a skin out of the pan itself and put it onto the screen that it's gonna be cooked on, it doesn't necessarily fit all the time. Sometimes it's gonna come to the edge of the screen, sometimes it hangs over the edge of the screen. I don't want it to look perfect. I'm okay with a little bit of wave and a little bit of difference there. Then we're gonna take the sauce, portion out the right amount of sauce, then we add the cheese on. We're gonna do everything based on a chart. We do our pepperonis based on count. Sometimes they're folded over a little bit. Our pizza's all done, so then we're gonna take it and we place it onto the conveyor of our oven. So our ovens are conveyor ovens, but they're called impinger ovens. So the heat source is actually in the back of the oven itself. It superheats air and uses big fans to blow the air out over the top of the pizza, to the top of the pizza and the bottom of the pizza itself. That's really important, right? Because if we were to ever reheat anything, we can't because of health code. If we reheated anything, that hot air on the top, all it's gonna do is burn.
And you guys have no microwaves.
You can't find a microwave in any Chuck E. Cheese kitchen. So we're gonna take our pizza out of the oven. We're using our tongs and our spatula to take it out of the oven itself. We have a pizza chart up at the top that it shows what our standard cut amounts would be. For a large, it's 12 slices, extra large is 16 slices. But when I'm in the heat of the moment and I've got 50 pizzas coming out of that oven and I'm cutting through using that rocker knife from the front to the back, sometimes those pieces are gonna be a little uneven. I'm not getting a protractor in there to try and cut those pieces and make sure that they're at a perfect 22-degree angle for every single slice that's coming out. We don't have time for that.
And then when you guys transfer it, does it kind of shift?
That's the key, right? That's the moment. So we're putting them onto these cool touch trays. A lot of places, like you go to a to-go box and they'll slide it into the to-go box hole and then cut it in the to-go box. That's not how we do it. We cut it on our actual pizza peel itself, cut it through, and then transfer it onto that board. Well, that process, that motion, is gonna move some stuff around. Stuff's gonna jostle. So some of those pieces are gonna slide up and some of those pieces are gonna slide back down. As a convenience, we take a plastic knife and we slide it underneath one of the slices of pizza to make it nice and easy. As that slice gets picked up, it's gonna move that around a little bit. It might move some of the adjacent slices next to it, we can use that to help carry the pizza to the table as well.
And Shane was also talking about like how some of the pizzas, the slices looked like they were glued together with cheese, basically. Why does that look happen?
So our cheese is 100% mozzarella cheese. So there's no starches, there's no binders, there's no any kind of other chemicals. It is literally milk. That's it. It's just cheese. That cheese is still at its melting point at that point. When we pull it out of that 500-degree oven, that cheese is still above its melting point. So if I choose and I cut it and move it around, that cheese still has the ability to melt.
One of the things Shane mentioned in his video was the pepperoni slices. Is there an explanation for that?
Yes. If we pull up the actual slice itself, you'll see that pepperoni's kind of slid down onto the side. It's still the whole thing. It just happens to be there. That's just the way it gets cut.
All right, so now I know the entire process. We made the pizza together. Can we taste test it? Because ultimately all that matters is how it tastes.
Darn right.
Cool.
I love our pizza.
Let's try some pizza. Thank you for doing all this today. This is like our little pizza date now.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
This is genuinely a good pizza, and I live in New York. This is really good. I'm gonna bring it back to the office.
Perfect.
Have a bunch of tasty producers, have a bunch of my friends taste it. Just make sure everyone likes it.
Awesome.
But dude, thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming.
This is incredible.
Anytime.
Even if you told me this was eaten and put it back, I would eat the crap out of it.
Also, some oregano here. So they're like
There's some
they're
thought.
giving you seasonings. Cheese.
Brand new pizza. Genius if I do say so myself.
So I have a theory
that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, but I don't know if anybody's gonna care except for me. I think it's crazy. I also don't know if this can get me like sued. So I'm gonna say once again, like, just a theory, not a fact, don't sue me, could just be a joke, hoax, whatever. Now, this is something that I actually thought about when I was a kid. And I noticed something whenever I would go to Chuck E. Cheese. And my theory as a kid was about their pizza.
Pizza at Chuck E. Cheese.
Do you really not know what I'm gonna say?
Literally, no.
There's a theory that if somebody at Chuck E. Cheese doesn't finish their whole pizza, and there's like a few pieces left, the employee will take that to the back, take those pieces off the tray, and form a new pizza with all the other leftovers, and then reheat it and serve it to a new customer. Now, I know what you're thinking, Shane, that's crazy. Well, here is a picture of the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese. Every piece is a different size. That piece is longer than that piece, which is shorter than that piece. These pieces in the back are shorter than those pieces, and none of the pepperonis
Oh man.
line up.
Oh shit.
It's not just this picture, it's almost every picture you find of Chuck E. Cheese pizza, and nobody's talking about it. So I noticed this when I was like 8 years old or something, and I was just like, wait a minute, how come all the pieces are different? And I remember specifically being like, oh, can we get half cheese and half pepperoni? The half cheese side was so fucking different than the half pepperoni side. Like, crazy, right?
I mean, if that's true, yeah, that would be probably illegal to do. Like, FDA probably would actually cancel them.
Oh.
Pizza at Chuck E. Cheese.
Once again, just a theory.
No, I mean, like, it looks like that. I mean, at the end of the day, if that actually is pizza from Chuck E. Cheese, I mean...
I went there a lot, and it was always like misplaced pizzas.
Really? That's disgusting. Like, every time you went, it was just like a collection of random pieces of pizza.
Oh yeah, one time there was like one veggie one slice. And my mom's like, ooh, for me! And I was like, okay. Like,
Wait, is it a...
why is it there?
So they're claiming to make these pizzas on demand for you?
Now listen, there is a second part of this theory. I knew a girl in high school. I asked her about this because she was working at Chuck E. Cheese. And she told me that she couldn't say whether or not that's true, but that was a thing. Like, that was something that actually was going on a while ago and they stopped it. But she also could have been lying, and who knows, right? So, I've never actually fully looked into this because, you know, I thought, well, who cares? Nobody's really gonna care about this. So I just Googled it, and I found like a forum. And other people have noticed this too. Am I gonna get sued?
I don't know. Somebody's probably gonna sue you.
Really? Pick it up. Somebody pick it up. Wait, it's about to happen.
I think he just did a quality check. It looked like he was checking.
Wait, you didn't take it?
No.
What's he doing?
Checking.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't see. Wait, what did he actually...
He walked by and he looked at it, and then he...
Did he touch it?
No. Oh, wait. Still there. It's just sitting there.